The San Francisco 49ers escaped week 1 with a divisional win over the Seahawks, but didn't escape an early case of the injury bug as Kyle Shanahan revealed that quarterback Brock Purdy suffered a left shoulder and toe injury in the win. As a result, he noted his signal caller is a long shot to play on the road in week 2 against the Saints, as the toe injury could keep him out for multiple games. Former Patriots first-round quarterback and 49ers backup Mac Jones will likely get the start in Purdy's absence. But with Purdy potentially sidelined, the 49ers already putting tight end George Kittle on injured reserve on Tuesday after he suffered that hamstring injury in the win. Christian McCaffrey, who appeared on the injury report ahead of that season opener with a calf injury, well, he appeared to finish the game unscathed, but 49ers likely going to monitor CMC going forward. And wideout Juwan Jennings left Sunday's win early in the fourth with a shoulder injury. His MRI showed no damage. However, he was not a participant in practice on Wednesday. And we're back joined by Emory Hunt, and it's early in the season, but 49ers already in midseason form, at least on the injury front. And Emory, I can say that because I have witnessed this for the past several years, their struggles with injuries, but several of their top guys out or in question. And we're only in week 2, namely their signal caller, Brock Purdy, who's not expected to play against the Saints on Sunday. But Emory, how are you viewing this Niners team this week now with Mac Jones likely to be at the helm?
They're going to be trying to play one hand tied behind their back, Kiana. When you look at what Brock Purdy brings to the table is his athleticism. And so now that it expands your entire playbook, if you're Kyle Shanahan, you can call any play you want to call because, one, he's going to make you right. And two, he has the ability to escape, extend, and find someone deep down the field. Case in point, look at what we saw last week versus Seattle. He didn't play the best game, but they needed Brock Purdy to come back in that ball game and subsequently get the win. So without Brock Purdy and in comes Mac Jones, you lose that athleticism, you lose that creativity, and you also increase the turnovers because Mac Jones has been prone to turn the ball over. So that could keep a young, feisty team in New Orleans in the ball game. And without a tight end in George Kittle, that impacts your run game in addition to your passing game. So they're going to have to play this really safe. They're going to have to lean on the defense that's still healthy right now. So if the defense can get some stops over a young offense and also maybe turn the ball over and get Mac Jones to some manageable situations, they still have a chance to win because they're going to need Brock Purdy for that stretch run when they come back after the Jags game because you have the Rams, you have the Bucs, you have the Falcons. They got to get past these 2 to 3 weeks with Mac Jones if possible.
So for what it's worth, I mean, hypothetically saying that we see Mac Jones go out there and ball out, maybe we got to start thinking about what it means when you get a quarterback in that Kyle Shanahan system, but all yet to be seen. He's got to perform on Sunday, but this is a 49ers team that we've already mentioned without Kittle. Juwan Jennings, his status is up in the air. They're trying to be cautious with CMC because we all saw what happened last year with that calf injury. But Emory, what's your long-term level of concern for the Niners where we stand?
If you don't get Brock Purdy back within the next 3 weeks, then you can cancel this season. This is going to be another season where they're not going to have a winning record. But if Brock Purdy comes back, let's say for that Jags game, right, then you look at the schedule. You say, okay, if he can come back for Jacksonville and you got the Rams and that stretch of games right there because you have to win these NFC games, especially those games against the Bucs and Falcons, because you're probably vying for what I like to say is that 6 or 7 seed as a wild card. So without Brock Purdy, then all of this becomes another 6-win type season unless Mac Jones turns into Sam Darnold with the Vikings or turns into Brock Purdy himself. But I don't believe that to be the case because we've seen Mac Jones play before. And so that's the only thing that gives me cause for pause with him being this newfound guy in this offense.
All right, so I guess you said Purdy has to be back by week 4 or else maybe you're kind of giving a side eye to the rest of the season for the 49ers. But for what it's worth, they still do have, as what it stands, the easiest strength of schedule, the easiest since 2015 as we saw on that graphic, but it doesn't matter if you're not playing up to par. But Emory, to another top team in the NFC, the Eagles, though, they'll have their Pro Bowl defensive tackle on hand for their Super Bowl 59 rematch against the Chiefs on Sunday. Jalen Carter will not be suspended further by the NFL after spitting on Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott in that season opener last Thursday. I hate saying that. But instead, Carter has been fined, but what's almost equivalent to a game check and will not appeal the fine. But here's what Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni had to say about Carter.
With any conversations with players, whether it's, of a something that happens in a game, a moment in the game. Like there's the information that I will always keep in-house. Again, I'm not going to ever get into like the same thing with anything with the league. If I agree with a call or if I don't agree with a call, if I agree with a discipline or I not agree, I owe the league that same respect. That again, you don't air business out there, so won't get into that either. There are certain things that that I'll keep close, and there's certain things that I'll share with you. As you guys know, this isn't one of them.
All right. Well, that's not one of them. So, Emory, what do we think we should expect from Carter and this Eagles defense on Sunday?
As I get older, I want to master the art of saying a lot without saying nothing.
Exactly.
He did a fantastic job in that regard. Shout out to Coach Sirianni. But I think we'll see Jalen Carter be on his best behavior because dude didn't even break a sweat. The game didn't even start yet for them, and he was out the game. Uniform still clean, everything. So he could probably still wear the same outfit to this new game because he didn't play last week. But at the end of the day, we all talked about this during the time it happened, that this was egregious. Dak Prescott probably should have won NFL Man of the Year from that moment alone, from not going off on him. But because he's back, because, we made a big brouhaha of what happened, now we got to see him out there and play, and he'll be on his best behavior. He sounded contrite and when he said his apology, but at the end of the day, we'll see how he plays, because if he plays like he played all last season, then all will be forgotten by everyone except Dak Prescott.
All right, he plans to be, I would assume, on his best behavior, but will the offensive side of the ball be on their best behavior? Because week one left more questions than answers, especially for me, when you look at that receiver position. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith combining for just 4 targets on the day. But get this, for Brown, the team's #1 receiver, for the first 58 minutes of the game, not a single pass thrown his direction. He finishing his night with just 1 target. Jahan Dotson instead led the way with 3 catches for 59 yards for Philly's pass catchers. But Emory, do you think the Eagles should make it a priority to get the ball in their #1 receiver's hands more?
The older I get, Kiana, the more I realize maybe having receivers was a mistake. We should just go back to like full T formation, 3 tight ends, just run the football. Because every time there's some issue with some wide receiver. But yes, get him involved early, because what you do when you get A.J. Brown involved early is that you get him engaged, not just in the passing game, that's obvious, but also in the run game, because in order to spring some of these long runs that we saw last year with Saquon Barkley, you have to get great blocking on the perimeter. If he can handle his business like Devonta Smith does, just quiet all the way around, and if you get 3 catches, you get 3 catches. If you get none, you get none, but he's going to block the same way. A.J. Brown, you gotta help get kickstart him into the ball game. So get him involved early. That's always a great thing. We saw that last year when they spammed him targets in that one game, like 5 straight passes went to him. But at the end of the day, he's one of the best receivers in the game. He wants to be involved. I like that he's calling for the football because he wants to be engaged. He wants to be a part of the winning. But you can also do that by blocking the run game. So if you want to give him a few passes early to get him lathered up, rather not than sit there and pout and not give a maximum effort in the blocking department, I'm all for it.
Okay, has anyone maybe checked in to see what A.J. Brown could be reading this season? I'm just saying.
Oh, he's gonna be reading like what's the bestseller list now? So he need to promote my books. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna throw him one of my books so he can read it on the sideline, so I can get those sales homeboy guys.
There you go. I mean, maybe you should send him one, because he had plenty of time to maybe read with 1 target, but maybe get a little bit more action on Sunday in Kansas City. As always, Emory Hunt, good looking out, and good luck with those book sales too. But if you thought week 1 was good, just wait till you see what week 2 has in store. The Bills riding high after their come-from-behind victory against the Ravens, taking on the Jets, who was on the other end of a walk-off loss to the Steelers. They'll look to get in that win column on Sunday. Big divisional matchup against the Ravens and Browns at 1 p.m. Eastern. Then at 4:05, a battle of the Stallions in the AFC. Broncos and Colts going head-to-head, both looking to go up 2-0 on the season. You can catch all of that action on Sunday on CBS or streaming on Paramount+.